Hey YouTube family, it's Dinko, the realtor, the only realtor that's got the data you need in Utah. If you're looking to sell or buy, remember, Dinko the realtor has your back anywhere in Utah. My contact information is down below in the description. If you want to go over this data, you have any questions, again, that contact information is down below in the description. And I have that data that we're going to go over right here. US is the country with the most Airbnb listings with an average of 2.25 million active listings throughout 2021. And in 2022, that number slightly rose. However, it still wasn't an all-time high. Now, if we take a look at this over here, we see when Airbnb just barely started in 2013, there wasn't that many listings. However, here in 2019, there was 7 million, then it went to 5.6 million in 2020, 6 million in 2021, and 6.6 million in 2022. Now, is the Airbnb market going to crash the housing market, or is it going to help the correction in home prices where home prices are going to come down? Well, this right here is going to give you a very good idea of that. If it's going to assist in the housing price correction or if it's actually going to cause a housing crash. We estimate, and this is the Chicago Fed, we estimate that between 2007 and 2010, there were approximately 3.8 million foreclosures. So keep that in mind. Between 2007 and 2010, there were 3.7 million foreclosures where they actually got filed and foreclosed on. The whole process went through. Now let's take a look at this next article right here by MarketWatch. There have been 6.3 million foreclosures in the US in the last decade. And this was during that Great Recession and after it. So from January of 2006 to April of 2016, there were 6.3 million completed foreclosures. Now, when somebody files a foreclosure, or there's a filing of a foreclosure, that does not mean that foreclosure will be completed. So as it states here, 6.3 million completed foreclosures. So those actually went through from A to Z. Now, let's take a look at this real quick. Right, we have 2.25. We know that's a little bit higher now. So we have about 2.5 million listings on Airbnb in the United States of America. Well, let's say 20% are forced to sell. Is that enough to cause a housing crash? Or is it going to cause a price correction? And remember, I've been saying it's going to be a domino effect. We have a lot more dominoes this time around than we did in 2008 and 2009. Once the economy fully unravels, we have the car bubble, the tech bubble. In 0809, we did not have a tech bubble because the dot-com bubble of 2000 made everybody skeptical about investing in big tech, and the tech industry was not on fire like it was in 2000 and like it was during the pandemic here because people went through the dot-com recession. So in 2008, 2009, we did not have that. Now, I want to show y'all this here real quick before I share some more of that data. Right here, we see these are foreclosure activity. And right here in 2007, 1.2 million. In 2008, 2.3 million. In 2009, 2.8 million. And of course, since there was 3.7 million that were completed according to the Chicago Fed, we know that just because there's the activity of foreclosures, not all of them actually get foreclosed on and go all the way to the end and lose that house, and the buyer gets that foreclosed house, right? So completed listings, there's a difference. Again, let's take a look here. In 2016, there was 933,000. In 2017, there was 676,000. Now, if we go over to 2022, there's a slight increase, still below 2019. Were we facing any big catastrophes in the housing market in 2017, 2018, 2019? The answer is no. Would we potentially have a correction when interest rates went up? Sure, we definitely would have. And maybe that correction would have been 5%, 8%. Maybe prices would have just, dropped a little bit and been just stale for a couple of years. Let's take a look here. 324,000 plus the 500,000. So if we have 2.5 million, we say 20% are going to have to sell foreclosed on whatever it is out of that Airbnb market. 500,000 plus this 324,000 is 824,000. Now, the other thing is these listings on Airbnb can be turned into long-term rentals. If we go over here, that's what it seems like happened in 2020, right? In 2019, there was 7 million, and in 2020, there was 5.6 million. However, we did not have 1.4 million foreclosures on Airbnb that went through. So people probably put them in the long-term rentals where they started renting them out for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. They maybe sold a property, and maybe some did get foreclosed on. So now let's say unemployment goes up to 5 or 6%. We might have 20% of the Airbnb market being forced to sell. But that's not enough to cause a housing crash. Now, that will assist in a price correction. However, once the unemployment starts going up, people are forced to sell their Airbnbs. They're not making the profit. Then the car bubble finally pops, where the underwater car loans, the repos that are happening, people can't pay them. The student loan payments are resuming, and people can't afford the student loan payment and the car payment. However, there's a 12-month grace period where it's not going to be reported on their credit report, and it's also not going to be accruing late fees. And we do have a financial banking crisis in America and worldwide. In 2008, 2009, we caused a world recession with our financing turmoil. Well, now there's a kind of financial turmoil going on worldwide. And we also have the stubborn inflation that we're fighting, that the rest of the world is fighting. That is what can cause the housing crash. That's why I've been saying the data is mimicking. We are again headed to that slowdown. It is showing that it's again going to be October, November, December, the fall, and into the holiday season, the best time to buy in 2023. Now, if you want to do the long-term wait game, you're going to have to wait and see how things are unraveling, because you're going to have to wait for the domino effect, where you're going to have 3 or 4 things that are happening within the economy that are making unemployment go up and affecting housing, jobs, and other things. Again, thanks for watching. My contact information is down below. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, have a great day.